What's going on, YouTube? We have the final rare hunter today for Battle City. I can't really say today in these videos because I'm doing more than one of these a day. So, not specifically today. We've done another deck for a while today, but as of right now, we're doing Strings. And Strings is a pretty interesting character, kind of like how Merrick controlled Bandikeith. He controlled Strings, and Strings was a creepy guy. He was a little creepy guy if you guys have seen him. But his deck was mainly focused on getting Slifer the Sky Dragon out. But without any further ado, let's get into the deck. So, the Shining Abyss. We saw this in Lumos and Umber's deck, and I just wanted a little more power for the deck, like a good monster to open up with if you don't have anything. And I thought Shining Abyss just worked the best since it's seen in other Rare Hunters duels, or in other Rare Hunters decks. And then his actual monster to use Wormdrake, and then Humanoid Slime to get his fusion monster out. And then his main card being Slifer the Sky Dragon, which Yugi beat him, and that's how he got Slifer the Sky Dragon. He didn't actually start off the tournament with Slifer. He got it pretty late, and this is when he got it, when he dueled Strings. It was a good duel, but he ended up putting Strings in this lock that made him keep drawing cards until he didn't have any more to draw. So, I guess that's sort of a threat for this deck, but it's not gonna happen because of Revival Jam's effect, where it doesn't come back automatically. You have to pay 1,000 life points to bring it back. So I guess it's a plus, but it's also a downside because Revival Jam is nowhere near as good as it was in the anime. But you still play 3 Revival Jam because he played this in his deck. And then Slifer the Sky Dragon, if you guys didn't know, it gains 1,000 attack for each card in your hand. So if you have 3 cards, 3,000 attack. 4 cards, 4,000 attack, and you got a good point. Just like we saw in Odeon's deck, he kind of revolved around his Winged Dragon of Ronaway, and this card and this deck revolves around Slifer, so playing the 3 Ra's Disciple can get it out really easily. And then 3 Polymerization for its fusion. Out of Greed. Nightmare Steel Cage, which you used. It's kind of like a Swords Revealing Light, but not as good because no monsters can attack, whereas only your opponent's monsters can attack and Swords Revealing Light, but it's still an alright card. More Gold Sarcophagus, as we saw, just gets cards to your hand if you want that Slifer the Sky Dragon, or you're not drawing into what you want. And then we have Graceful Charity and Monster Reborn. 2 Emergency Provision, and we play Emergency Provision for this card right here, Jam Breeding Machine, which we saw in Merrick's deck, and I sided out in Merrick's deck because it's not good in the main deck. But in this deck, he used it. Strings used it. During each of your standby phases, special summon 1 slime token. You cannot summon any monsters except slime tokens. So, if you can't destroy this card, you're basically going to have a field full of slime tokens, and you can kind of get stuck. So, if you destroy this card with Emergency Provisions, then any number of spell and trap cards you control to the graveyard gain 1,000 for each, and you'll be able to tribute those tokens for Slifer the Sky Dragon. And you can't do that originally because, like it says here, you can't summon other monsters, but you can set. So I guess you could set Slifer the Sky Dragon, but I don't know if you'd want to do that. And then we have Defusion, just to split apart his fusion if ever necessary. And then his other sort of engine of the deck, Card of Safe Return. When a monster is special summoned from your graveyard, draw 1 card. And infinite cards. There's no limit to the number of cards in players' hands. A lot of players that are new to the game, since and a lot of players played on Dueling Network. Dueling Network was all manual, so if you had more than 6 cards in your hand, it didn't say anything, and players would keep drawing, and they'd have 10 cards in your hand, and they didn't know that you can do that, but that's actually a rule. So there you go. And infinite cards if you have more than 6. So the way he used the loop in his deck, and the way that Yugi kind of beat it is you use brain control to special summon to take control of Revival Jam, and Slifer the Sky Dragon's effect is whenever a monster is summoned, um, it takes away 2,000 attack points from that monster, but if it has less than 2,000 attack, it's destroyed. But Revival Jam's effect in the anime was that after it got destroyed, it came right back. So Slifer the Sky Dragon kept attacking it and kept attacking it and kept attacking it. And the way that these cards came into play, card of safe return, when a monster is special summoned from your graveyard, you can draw one card. So Revival Jam kept getting special summon from the graveyard, so he from, I guess, String's graveyard, because it was originally String's card. So he kept having to draw cards, and infinite cards made it so that there was no limit to the cards he had in his hand. So eventually he drew until he ran out of cards. Kind of a long process, and if you guys saw the episode, you would understand it a lot better than I had just explained it. And then his last spell, Premature Burial. And then Protection, 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 Mirror Force, and Magic Cylinder. You used Magic Cylinder in the duel against him, so I thought it would be a good fit for his deck. And then Jam Defender, just combos with Revival Jam. Metal Reflect Slime, we saw in Merrick's deck, and we already talked about it. 3,000 defense. And then his fusion, Humanoid Worm Drake, 7-star, 2200 attack, not great, but he played it. And if you can get it out, it's an alright monster. Anyway, guys, that was my Strings Battle City deck profile. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.